Happy 26. Oh, hold on. Happy 26. Because you're 26. Ooh, my voice is so angelic. Well, listen, you 26, okay? By this time, you start to say things like, oh my goodness, I'm 26. I'm almost 30. I'm closer to 30. Don't do that, okay? This is what you do. You say, oh, I'm 26. I'm 26, period. Or I'm 26. I'm closer to 27. Learn to enjoy the year that you're in. Don't get caught up in this world standard and how they think about life and how they think about age as if getting older is a bad thing. Girl, getting older is a blessing. If you ain't getting older, you know what that means? That means you dead. And you ain't dead yet, girl. So by this time, you are still at your career job, still learning and still growing. And y'all, I forgot all about this, but I need to talk about it. Right before your 26th birthday, do you remember that you went back? Girl, yes. I think you hit your head. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what was really going on. You know, maybe you was just emotionally distraught. But you had a moment and started talking back to that guy. It wasn't like we together, but it was just a moment of familiarity. You wanted to see if you missed out on something. There it is. Remember in that relationship, you felt like a mother more than a companion. And you wanted to get a taste of him growing up to be the young man that you always wanted him to be. See, now that's the trick of the enemy. The enemy will make it seem like you missing out. The enemy will make it seem like, oh girl, you better go back to him. Look what he got now. When you knew God already said no. When you knew God already said, I got better for you. But it's all right. God's grace and mercy is still being used on your behalf. Still, God was showing himself to be so faithful and so committed to you, girl. See, this is why you love him to this day and you're so content in your singlehood. I remember God really speaking to your heart and giving you such a feeling of sorrow that you even apologize to that young man of all the things that you did with him, of how you trained his body to be sexually groomed for your body, which is an offense and such a disrespect to his future wife. Yeah, God was really showing you the error in all of your ways sexually. He was really still pruning you and training you in that way. You even made a video about it, which I'll put the link below. See, that year, what you didn't know was God was really, really pressing up on your heart to move. Remember when you would go visit your sister and brother-in-law and their family in Minnesota at that time? And when you left them and you had to get on that plane to go right back to Kansas City, your heart was so broken. It was like a movie scene. You would look out the window as the plane flew off and just start crying. See, what you didn't know then was God was telling you, you're supposed to be living with them. You're supposed to be where they are. And every time you left them, you felt your spirit crumble because you were leaving where you were supposed to be. So you went back home, and through the whole entire year of age 26, you felt so out of place. It was time for you to actually pack up all your stuff and move out of the state. I know. Talk about feeling scared. I mean, shoot, this is your hometown. This is all you've ever known in this small little radius that you've traveled. And you never saw yourself outside of those borders. And here's another thing you learned about yourself, which ties into the lesson you left at age 25. Girl, you stayed too long. You stayed in that 4-year relationship too long. You stayed at your mama's house too long. And you stayed in Kansas too long too. You were so hesitant to the point to where God had to send a prophecy your way. And she came to you and said, Brittany, you're supposed to be living with your family. Girl, if you don't move and get out of here. Well, she didn't say it like that, but I paraphrase. He talked to the hearts of your brother-in-law and sister. You were going to be just fine. You had a place to stay. Your car was gonna make it, and it did. That's old faithful right there. And at the end of 26 years old, you made that move. That was your first time traveling long hours at a time by yourself. Little old Kansas girl on the road again. But girl, before you made that 8-hour trip, that departure, it goes down in the books. With all the support that you did have, let me tell you, all hell broke loose at home. Not everybody was excited for you to leave, and for reasons that you will learn later after 26. I know you hurt a couple of people too, because they didn't expect for you to leave like you did. Some people even took it personally, as if you were leaving them in their life. But what people don't understand is what God is doing in people's lives, it's not personal. You're not abandoning them. You're following God. You're living out your purpose. And if people can't understand that, don't try to force it. Let God speak to their hearts. They'll be just fine. Bye, Dorothy and Toto. I'll call you, okay? So here's a solid truth that I want to give you to take with you into the next year. Fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. So, now that you're in a brand new state, an expensive one at that, enjoy being 26. Because for real, it only gets better from here. Peace.